Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the MMA Stooges channel, and we're recapping UFC Vegas 30. And actually, guys, I think this card, in my opinion, overperformed. Great card from beginning to end. Everyone on this card really showed out. You know, at the end of our shows, we normally do like the funny awards, and we do like the decaf and all that stuff. And there really weren't many options tonight. And when there's not many options, it's a really, really good card. So in a few minutes, also we will be having Josh join us, as well as Kieran. So, or maybe Kieran, but overall, really, really great card. Steve's mom says why the Red Sox are playing. Mrs. Delapelle, guess what? I'm a Yankee fan, so let's go Yanks. But they're losing, I think, right now 3-0 currently. But overall, the guys, yeah, like I said, this card was really, really good. Sorry, guys, I'm messaging Josh the link. So yeah, from beginning to end, really, really good. I'll be honest, I missed the first couple fights due to coaching. So during baseball, I wasn't able to watch a couple. So I missed the Yancy Medeiros fight, although I watched the highlights and he seemed like he really struggled. That's a pretty big slide that he's on now. He just hasn't really looked good. That's 4 in a row. He's lost to Cerrone, Gillespie, Lando Venata, and now Hadzovic. So he's looking at possibly getting cut. Not really good for Yancy Medeiros. But what I really wanted to talk about was Ciryl Gane, guys. Ciryl Gane, he's always been here, but it is just absolutely amazing that this guy has now 9 career fights. 9 career fights.
He started his career in 2018,
and
after 6 Muay Thai fights, where he beat a world champion as well.
And he just literally, he just put on a masterful technical performance against Alexander Volkov. The stamina for one at heavyweight, the cardio is elite. I think best cardio in the division, hands down. It's probably not even close. Volkov is no slouch. Dude's has how many fights, has literally been in there with everyone. And in round 1, I'm like, wow, Volkov looks good, but really Gane just kind of I think he took round 1 to really just feel everything out, and then he just
read on everything,
poured it on. There was no part in this fight where
he freezes people.
Yeah,
he freezes people. There was a point where Volkov was just sitting there, and Gane was bouncing, and Volkov was just, and then shelled up against the fence, and it was like, dang, he's got you completely frozen. And I know a lot of people are going to see this and be like, another boring Gane performance, but that's just how good he is technically, that he makes some of these great guys. And honestly, Volkov surprised me a lot. I expected him to not look that great, but he's improved a whole lot. And technique-wise, he's at the top. He's the cream of the crop up there. Yeah. I think him versus a Stipe would be a really fun matchup, Volkov. And before, I thought Stipe would buzz right through him. But I don't know. I mean, that kid is... Ciryl Gane is something special right now, and I really don't know who beats him. I'll be honest with you.
There isn't. Listen, with Francis, there's always that scary power, so that could happen. But if you're talking 5-round technical performance, no one. I am a firm believer that there is no one.
I'm not picking anyone in over him in a decision. The only person that I could possibly think of is maybe Curtis Blades, because we haven't seen his takedown defense against an elite wrestler, but it seems like nobody wants to even shoot on him, which is weird. And I didn't get the narrative that he shouldn't stand with Volkov from range. That's all he did tonight, and he breezed through to a victory.
I think that's what was the most surprising thing for me, was the fact really you would think at 6'7", Volkov would have been able to sit at the end of his jab, and he just didn't do anything. And I don't think that's really anything on Volkov's part. I just think that's how good Ciryl Gane is. He mixes things up so well that it makes it very, very difficult to execute any sort of game plan against him. And I just he's just so good. And the casual MMA fan will say he's boring, but he's so technical. And at 9 fights to go up against someone like Volkov, who has been around and fought
40
everyone,
fights or something like that.
Yeah, and he just
nobody's talking about it enough. Like that's his 9th professional fight.
that's the only thing that scares me. It's like I think that is Ciryl Gane marketable because it's like I don't know. Like I think he is. Like I think
he has
that
to get some
should
finishes, but then again, he's not going to put himself at risk to get these finishes. But this is the thing: he doesn't look like any other heavyweight, right? Because he bounces on his feet, he's technical, he's super duper smart defensively. But every other heavyweight that's exciting looks like that. You know, like you're taking away his skill set if you're asking him to be more exciting. You know, also he doesn't have that like just one shot killer knockout power, but he's sharp though, very very sharp, very sharp. And honestly, you saw him starting to open it up even later whenever he saw Volkov got tired. And that's the other thing too. Whenever he hurts his opponents, he will put them away. And that's something that I don't think we've seen, but. Like I've been saying forever, he fights like a heavyweight John Jones with better hands.
Well, I was going to say, I don't think it's his fault that he didn't put Volkov away. I'm not going to sit here and say he didn't try.
Yeah.
He tried. Volkov was just tough as nails tonight. He kind of smelt blood in the water and
Volkov got tired, man.
Yeah. And rounds 4 and 5.
He got a good second round. He caught a good second win though.
Yeah. But Volkov, but Gane really did try to pour it on there at the end. And it's just one of those things where, Volkov is not, he did land a couple flush shots on Gane when he tried to enter. And, at that point, like you're already up in the fight, possibly I could have seen one round for Volkov, round 1. Mm-hmm. Outside of that, I really didn't see any other round for him. But
I mean, in the 5th round, I thought, the start of the 4th round, it looked like he was doing good. And then Ciryl Gane just took over and won the rest of that round.
Well,
and then also in the 5th round, whenever he got eye poked, he used that time to like catch his breath a little bit. And I was expecting him to come out hard, and he did. He started pressuring early on, and then boom, immediately ate a head kick from Ciryl Gane. And I was like, oh, wow, okay. Ciryl Gane got that energy back too. And just to see a heavyweight of his size just bouncing around, throwing quick jabs, and just fighting so technical like is surreal.
And those kicks that were landing on Volkov's arms, dude, that had to do some sort of damage because I feel like Volkov was very timid throwing the right hand after. There was one specifically that literally like echoed through. It seemed like it would like echoed through the apex. Yeah. And Volkov really didn't throw many right hands after that.
He caught him with a huge body kick. And after that, you just saw Volkov's arm was like stuck to his side the rest of the night. Yeah. So I know his arms has got to be killing him because, man, I tell you what, Ciryl Gane is the truth. I know not a lot of people are going to be trying to give him a title shot after that performance, even though he's more than deserving at this point. Like, what more do you want to see? Do you want to see him fight Derek Lewis and completely style on him? Do you want to see him fight? This is the thing. I think next they should just do Stipe. But
I don't think Stipe's
not going to take that fight because I tell you why. He's going to lose. He's going to lose, and I guarantee you, he will look better against Stipe Miocic than he did against Volkov. I guarantee you.
He
just did that in his 9th professional fight against someone with a height advantage on him, which he's probably not going to have to deal with for a long time again.
Yeah, I just Stipe is like kind of in the driver's seat as far as like they could run it back. I don't think they should, in my opinion. I don't think they should, but if he takes a fight against Gane and loses, which I am like 99% sure he would, then he's done. He's never going to get a title shot again. So it's like one of those things where,
when it comes to merit, Stipe is more deserving of a rematch against Ngannou than even Derek Lewis is deserving of a shot against Ngannou. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If we're really talking, like, then I mean that would be the move that I would make because now you have a clear number 1 contender. Who else are you going to match him up with? Unless Curtis Blades wins his fight against if Curtis Blades wins his fight against Rosenstrike, then there you go. Like you can do Blades and Gane. But say Rosenstrike wins against Curtis Blades. What do you do? What do you do? What can you do right there?
It's literally, in my opinion, it's literally Francis, John Jones, and Ciryl Gane. And I feel like that could basically, and we don't even know what John Jones has yet, but if he comes out and looks good, like those are the 3. It's like a revolving door. And then like we have that next tier with Rosenstrike, Volkov. I'm honestly like Derek Lewis has that one punch power, which keeps him there, but he is very close to level 3 heavyweight outside of, his
I think Volkov works him in a rematch.
Yeah. Well, he worked him the whole fight the first time.
Yeah, he worked him the whole fight before he just caught a huge right hand. If they fight over 3 rounds, Volkov's going to win.
I agree.
I mean, just go look at Derek Lewis got washed by JDS. Just a couple of fights. Like it wasn't like it was. I think it was like 2019.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it was just like a million. Like he knocked out Curtis Blades. That was a great win. You know, that's really all he's got going for him at the moment. You know, I don't know. It just, I think you got to give Ciryl Gane a chance, but then again, he's not marketable. So now it's just you're going to see what the UFC does whenever they don't find a fighter marketable. Regardless of how good they are, they're just not going to push them.
I'm all for him getting the title shot, and for me tonight was the icing on the cake because I'm that high on Volkov. I really, really do like Volkov. I think that he's looked really good as of late, but you know, we've seen what the UFC has done with guys that aren't markable, and Ciryl Gane, just with him not putting guys away, it's hurting him. But it shouldn't. It shouldn't. I don't think it should at all because tonight's performance was still so good.
5-0ing people.
Yeah,
like he lost the first round of his mixed martial arts career tonight on one judge's scorecard because two of them had 50-45, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one judge has given him a round lost. You can make an argument that dude has never lost a round in his career out of those 9 fights.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, but I think he's got the goods, and he should get a shot. I think he's more deserving than Derek Lewis is at this time. But
this is the other thing that I was thinking about too, is that division is almost so log jammed right now that I feel like Ciryl Gane almost takes a fight just because he knows he can steamroll through someone.
He beats everybody.
Yeah, it's a paycheck, and it's just getting him more experience.
Yeah.
So I could see him fighting something like that.
The one fight that I think could be booked that will show, okay, he's just the complete everything. Like nobody's gonna touch him. Is if they book him versus Curtis Blades and he stuffs everything.
Yeah.
If that happens and he just and Curtis Blades just can't get him to the ground, good luck. Good luck to everybody else, because there will be no clear path to beating that guy.
But my thing is Curtis Blades' chin going to be able to hold up on some of Gane's combos? Because
I don't know.
His combos tonight were nice. Like he
Curtis
really
Blades has improved his striking too. It's just he shot that naked single and got blasted by Derek Lewis.
DC kind of roasted him on the commentary today.
Oh really? I didn't hear it.
He's like, he was kind of saying the same thing that you're saying. And then he goes, yeah, but then Curtis Blades just lost it for a second and decided to shoot for that takedown and got knocked out by Derek Lewis. But
you can't have that's the thing about Derek Lewis. You're either gonna wash him or you're gonna have a momentary lapse of judgment and get knocked out. And that's all it's gonna take. I mean, Volkov was 30 seconds away from winning that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Just stayed in the pocket too long.
Yeah,
ate a huge right hand, and that was it. Like I don't know. It's just Derek Lewis is a tough customer. I don't think Ciryl Gane is going to be falling for any of that bullshit though. He's too, especially how he kicks from range. Derek Lewis is not going to be able to deal with that.
And Derek Lewis's legs are not going to be able to handle the leg.
And this is my problem. You have a guy in the division that I think most people know if they book him against the two guys that are up for a title shot right now, he'll win.
Mm-hmm.
He'll win. I mean, I don't like. You can say what you want about him being exciting and whatnot. But if you're picking Stipe to beat him, I don't know what to tell you, because you might just have bad eyes. Like maybe if Stipe wrestles him, he provides a threat that he hasn't seen before. Stipe's not gonna outpace him like he did in Ngannou the first time.
Mm-hmm.
He's not gonna outspeed him or technique him. I mean, Volkov's whole advantage tonight was fighting from range, and everyone was acting like Ciryl Gane had to take him down to do something. Like no, this dude's the best kickboxer in the division by a long shot too. Ciryl Gane is the truth.
Well, I think Volkov is probably the second best kickboxer.
Honestly, I agree with you.
So now he literally I'm not gonna say dismantled him, but he outclassed him.
Styles make fights.
4 out of 5 rounds.
I'll tell you what though. I think Volkov only loses to 2 or 3 people in the division.
I don't think his chin can handle Francis' power.
No, he's gonna lose to Francis. Also, he can't handle blitzing. Like he shells up. Yeah, he can't. He doesn't counter well. Francis will blast him. Ciryl Gane's going to do the same thing he just did, which is 50-45 somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And people might not like it, but he technically is so efficient. He fights just like John. Like I've been saying, like he's super smart defensively.
Bruh, he literally was like 65% on his striking, and he landed the 3rd or 2nd most strikes in a heavyweight fight.
And people are going to call him boring because he didn't put him away or rock him.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
This was the only fight on the card that had any implications at all other than people saving their jobs. Like Tanner Boser saved his job and OSP lost his.
Tanner Boser's not that bad, bro. You hate on Tanner Boser so much. Tanner Boser's job was safe. I'm telling you. OSP's going to lose his job. OSP should lose his job. OSP should lose his job.
Here's our guy. Josh.
How's it going?
Good. I caught your earlier conversation with Gane. What are you guys on now? Which fight?
Well, you can give us your thoughts on Gane.
Yeah, give us your thoughts on it.
I told him, I said before the fight, I would give Gane his respect if he beat Volkov. He didn't have to finish him. If he beat Volkov, he earns his respect. Is he a points fighter? Do I think he's a points fighter? Kinda. Not really. Is he that technical where he's that good? Do I think he could beat Stipe, John, and potentially Francis? Yes, I do think he has the skills to do that. But how? Like, if he could submit Francis, I could see that. John Jones, it'd be a technical, drawn-out battle. But if he 5 rounds these guys,
he will.
I don't think it's fun for everybody. I don't think it's that fun for everybody. If he keeps,
it won't be.
Yeah,
I think it won't be until he 5 rounds Francis. When he stands with Francis for 5 rounds and Francis just cannot hit him, everyone's gonna be like, "Holy shit, this dude is really good."
Francis might gas though too, and
Francis might gas, and if he does, you saw what Gane did tonight. Whenever Volkov started to gas, he will put it on. Like it's not like he's just super duper conservative. Like, I'm never gonna go for the kill ever. It's just you're going against a 6'7" guy that's a kickboxing world champion. Like you have to take your time a little bit. You know, I don't know.
I was impressed. I was very impressed with him tonight. It's just I still don't know where I know where I stand. I don't know how good he is. I want to know how. I know he's great. Like, he could be great. Scary how good he could be. I thought he had the ability to get the finish tonight. If he seemed like in the first couple rounds you see him throw some techniques where he would hold off on him, and then he smiled at Volkov, and he was, like playing that chess game. If he lets some of those techniques go, and then I had an interaction on Twitter. You don't give anyone a puncher's chance at heavyweight. I completely get that. But I'd like to see him start to get a couple of finishes under his belt against guys like Volkov or whoever's next. But either way, you put him in the top 4 conversation with Lewis, with Jones, with Stipe, and Francis. I think this is
my thing though. Like, we want him to get finishes. This man just had his 9th fight, but how many times has Volkov been knocked out? How many times has Rosenstrike been knocked out? And who have they been knocked out by? Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that Francis isn't top tier just because he's not finishing guys. Like, in my opinion, like last time I remember Volkov getting knocked out was to Derek Lewis on a whim, and that's Derek Lewis power. Yeah. And then Rosenstrike got knocked out by Francis Ngannou, potentially the hardest hitter to ever step foot in the octagon. Like,
exactly. So
for me, like, I feel like I can't sit here and get upset at the fact that Ciryl Gane didn't finish people when these guys are getting finished by people with Derek Lewis probably has more power than Ciryl Gane. He's not a better fighter.
He doesn't have a TKO victory other than the one against JDS. But like, I mean, the thing with him is he's not going to go on a crazy flurry or anything like that. He's going to hit you and not get hit. That's his whole thing. He's going to hit you, and he's going to be very smart defensively, because at heavyweight, that's what you have to do. He's not going to put himself
like John.
Yeah, he fights just like John. He fights just like John.
That would probably be the most boring fucking fight of all time.
I would love it though, because it would be so. I'm telling you why it would not be boring, because John Jones would lose that fight. No, I'm serious.
I know.
Go rewatch Dominic Reyes versus John Jones and tell me how exciting that fight was.
No, his last 5 fights haven't been exciting.
Wasn't that exciting?
It's hard to say I see him finishing Jones. I could see him beating Jones by decision, but I couldn't see him finishing Jones.
I think he would be much stronger than Jones though at heavyweight.
I don't see anybody finishing Jones, to be honest with you. Dude has a chin and one of the best defensive fighters out there. But I think he beats Jones over 5 rounds. Like, I think he beats anybody over 5 rounds. That's his style. Like, he moves, and he fights like, okay, he's like a heavyweight Izzy. He'll put you away if you put yourself out there to be hit cleanly. But also, look at what he does to these guys. He had Volkov and Jairzinho Rozenstruik, two of the scariest knockout punchers in all of the heavyweight division, frozen against the fence for 5 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
His last 10 rounds in the cage, he did that to two of the hardest hitters in the promotion.
Yeah.
With crazy
You know what I mean?
kickboxing backgrounds, both of them.
Exactly, with extensive kickboxing backgrounds.
What's the next step of his? What's his next evolution? Is it the finish, or does he just keep getting better at outpointing these guys? I see the evolution, and I think it's terrifying for the rest of the division. I didn't learn, I guess, a whole lot about.
That's just
Gane.
how I think that's just his thing. I think that's just
I just don't think he's ever gonna have that he's
I guess
just
his
too
evolution
smart.
would be taking guys down now. So now he has like another crutch for his defense. Like, I mean, he's good. He has 2 submission victories. But my thing is just I don't know. We'll see.
He deserves credit for standing up 5 rounds with Volkov for sure.
I think he can do what he just did tonight against everybody. Like after watching that, you might not be impressed by it or like super excited by it, but do you think Stipe does anything that Volkov couldn't tonight?
No.
Probably not.
I think the only guy with that question is Francis.
I think that he could potentially stop Stipe based on Stipe's chin recently.
I think he does stop Stipe. The older heavyweights without chins, I think he could definitely stop Stipe.
Yeah, and then Francis has a massive, or not a massive, but he kind of has a hole in his game where Gane could expose that.
Yeah. Also, he just went against his 2 most boring fights are against the most seasoned kickboxers in the heavyweight division.
That's
like
true.
That's it. Like I don't think anybody else in the division is going to deal with Ciryl Gane's kicks as well as they did tonight, or that they did in his past 2 fights. Stipe can't check a leg kick to save his fucking life.
Neither can Derek Lewis. So.
Neither can Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis would be dropped with a body kick in the first round. I guarantee you.
Or
just knocked out. I think Derek Lewis would get knocked out with Ciryl Gane's hands. I think it's just style matchups wise. Like I kind of feel like the UFC was like trying to find out just how good of a kickboxer Ciryl Gane is, and now you found out he's probably the best in the division. It's probably the best that we've ever seen at heavyweight.
Yeah.
So
Volkov took a knee right in the gut that looked so hard. I don't know how he didn't go down. And
huge body kicks, huge teeps, huge knees to the body. I mean, it's ridiculous. Ciryl Gane's so damn athletic too. He threw that fucking flying knee and still got a foot on his face. I was like, wow.
He's damn good.
I am all on the Ciryl Gane train, and I want to see him fight for the belt. I think that fight, him and Francis, would be electric. I think that's more appealing to me than Derek Lewis Francis. But the only thing is the marketability, and the UFC would love either Francis to stay champ, or could you imagine Derek Lewis, the shit he says on the mic, being champ? So I think that's what's gotten him to be in his current situation. And in a way, I feel bad for Ciryl Gane. I was saying to Kieran, I think that there's a good shot Ciryl Gane takes another fight against another weird random heavyweight. And it's not going to be Curtis Blades, because he just booked a fight. Rozenstruik. So he's going to take another fight.
If Rozenstruik wins that fight, you have nothing else to do with him.
Yeah.
Nothing. You have nothing else to do with him but give him a title shot or Stipe or Derek Lewis. Like his next fight has to be those.
The John Jones throws me off. The John Jones, just him looming, throws everything off.
It's going to be another
Jones
year.
isn't going to come back to fight Ciryl Gane, though. I guarantee the UFC might offer it to fuck with him, though. Like, oh, you want to get paid more? Fight this guy. We'll pay you. No title or nothing. Just fight this clone of yourself that's younger and hits harder. And
how old is Ciryl Gane?
31.
31?
Yeah, he's like a year or two younger.
Yeah. Dude, he can shoot. The man can shoot.
Yeah, he's got game.
He can run through.
He can hoop.
But the wear and tear over 25 minutes, it's normal. He's going to have more wear and tear in a 25-minute fight than he would in a 5-minute fight, potentially.
But not if he's getting hit.
He's not getting hit, though. Yeah, I think he took less damage tonight than Francis took in his dominant victory against Stipe. That right hand that Stipe landed probably drops the majority of the heavyweights of the division. It's just he's smart. He's smart.
I think that's Francis's only way of beating Ciryl Gane, is if
to drop him.
Something like that.
And he has to do it early too.
Right.
The later that shit, that's the other thing too. He reads guys. Like the later the fights go, the more he picks up. The more he understands, the more he gets comfortable. It's kind of like it's what all elite kickboxers do. It's what Izzy does to his opponents. The later it goes, he's going to get a read on you and then start messing you up. I don't know. It sucks because I don't think people are really like, even after that performance, understanding just how good he is. Because I don't think they're just like, oh, he's boring. Like, he's not going to do that to the top guys. Yes, he will. He'll fuck around in 50, 40. It just might not be what you're used to. Watching a dude go out there and point fight and just outstrike his opponents at heavyweight instead of putting them away. Because look at all the heavyweight prospects that came up. Stipe was knocking people dead left and right. Francis was knocking people dead left and right. Curtis Blades was wrestle fucking everybody and knocking people out. Ciryl Gane's just like, nope, I'm not going to engage in those games. I'm going to stay at range and point fight you and just win. Like, I'm just going to outpoint you and outskill you the whole 5 rounds, and you won't touch me. You're just not used to that at the higher weight classes.
I'm ready. I'm ready for him to take one more fight. I think he should take one more, and then he gets the winner of the title fight. I think that's the move.
Hey, give it to Stipe. Give him that shot against Stipe. I think Stipe, look, this is what I tell Stipe. I'd be like, okay, Stipe, you have to fight him, especially if they're not going to give Stipe a title shot next. Be like, you have to fight him. If not, you get moved in the back of the line behind him.
Okay.
Fuck it. Tell him that. I mean, you're 38, 39 years old. You need to stay active anyway.
Stipe would take that fight, I think. I think Stipe.
I don't think he would.
I think he 100%.
Oh, hell no.
I don't think he would. He's going to lose that fight. And embarrassing fashion, too.
I was telling Kieran, he's kind of in the driver's seat right now as far as, like, he can almost hold out because if John doesn't come back, he's technically next in line. And so for him, if he goes and he fights Ciryl Gane and loses, that's it. There's no more title shot for him, and he's probably going to retire. So I think he wants one more shot at the belt, and that's it. And I think just from a respect factor, the UFC probably grants that because he was the champ for a while. So they probably grant that. So I really think after Lewis, it'll probably be Stipe. And then at that point, Ciryl Gane is just sitting here waiting and waiting. And then I feel like the John Jones Ciryl Gane talk almost fight, and the fight almost has to happen. That
is
the
fans,
title eliminator.
That's fun. The UFC does not want that shit to happen.
I know. And John Jones
that's one of the biggest names versus Ciryl Gane is a horrible matchup for anybody at heavyweight right now. And I feel bad for him. If he was knocking people out left and right and the hype train was getting behind him, it'd be great. But he's just outclassing fools, and he's also not a draw. But like he is the most insane prospect we have in the game right now. But like 9 fights, already probably up for the title shot in the heavyweight division. Like, he should be the #1 talk of the town, biggest thing since sliced bread. He is not at all, which makes everyone not want to fight him.
Dana White's like, no.
Yeah.
I'm almost there with you guys. I'm almost ready. I think he could defend the belt 5 or 6 times.
I don't see anybody beating him but Francis. I'll say it like that. I don't think Stipe has shit for him, especially after his legs get buckled with like 2 or 3 leg kicks. He can't take leg kicks to save his life. Also, the speed of Ciryl Gane. Like the speed, he's gonna get jabbed, he's gonna get leg kicked, he's gonna get kicked everywhere. And it's gonna piss Stipe off. I don't think he's ready for that. That's the same reason why I said John Jones beats Stipe. But you look at Francis. Francis has that one-shot knockout power. If Ciryl Gane gets by Francis, good luck for everybody. It's going to take that next generation of heavyweight to beat him.
I agree.
That's just what I think. You're probably looking, and it's sad because there's no hype behind him. But you're probably looking at like the next pound for pound great in this game. I think he's that good. 9 fights in, and he's doing this.
Yeah, I think that's something that's just not talked about enough. 9 fights, and this dude just took on potentially the best kickboxer prior to him coming.
15 professional fights, period.
Yeah, insane.
He started. Forgot. He started his MMA career in 2018.
Did he have any amateur fights, or did he just go straight pro?
I think he went straight pro. He was doing Muay Thai before.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Josh, you gotta hop all the way on, man. You can't be 1 foot on, 1 foot off.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that he could hold the belt for 5 times. I'm saying he could win the belt. I definitely think he could get to the belt, but I'm on the fence of do I think he could hold it for a very long time.
I think as long as Francis is around, it's going to be hard for anyone just because of the power. Like there's always that shot with Francis and
he's that athlete like Ciryl Gane is.
Yeah.
The problem for me is though that cardio. If Ciryl Gane knows that he has 2.5 rounds of danger in front of him, why not fight accordingly?
Yeah,
because Francis is going to go for it. I think unless they have that training experience. That's the matchup, though. Like that's the matchup that gives you Ciryl Gane with a name, because you have a story attached to it.
I just don't think it's fair that Volkov is being looked at as not like a name. Like Alexander Volkov is legit. Like this guy is legit. He's only lost to the best.
Everyone was saying that Volkov was going to win this fight.
I picked Volkov. Yeah,
I mean that's what I'm like. But now Gane has a dominant performance over a guy that everyone said this fight was going to be close, and it wasn't. It wasn't close at all. It was a blowout.
Yep.
They're still not going to give him the credit because he didn't knock him out. That's just what everyone comes to expect. Like, I'll liken this performance to like at 145 when Max Holloway just dominates someone. Of course, he puts on more shots later, but like, it's not. He's not going to just completely bury people to go on this. Like, but at heavyweight, you need the knockouts to get the hype behind you.
I think it's almost exciting we have someone this athletic in the heavyweight division.
It's amazing.
Like the dude literally just moves around like he's a freaking 55er and he's freaking 200 some pounds. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how good he is already.
Yeah. But I was saying before you hopped on, Josh, this card, other than that was the only fight with implications, and there was literally no other fight that had any sort of implications other than keeping their jobs. Tanner Boser stays around. OSP probably going to be gone. What did you guys think about the Barcelos-Valiev fight? So Barcelos, I think, was a heavy favorite coming into this one. I actually got Valiev at plus 200 for the decision win, so I was pretty happy about that. And both guys now 16-2. That fight was probably like it wasn't a bad fight. It was a very technical fight. So if you're not into technical fights, it was probably pretty boring for you. But I thought that fight was really, really good. Really one of the only fights that didn't end in a finish. And then we also had do you guys think Boser grabbed the fence?
On the replay?
On the replay, it didn't look like it. I thought he did it first, but on the replay, no. Of course, Herzog's the best ref in the game.
Well, I dropped so Herzog did drop down one spot. Mike Beltran moves up 3 spots.
Mike Beltran?
There's just that dude is never marred in any controversy. There's never any questions when he refs. And also the icing on the cake for me was when he made Barcelos. Barcelos was about to walk out of the cage because he didn't get the decision win. He grabbed Barcelos by the arm, ripped him back to the center of the octagon to make sure he shook Valiev's hand. And I was like, OG. And then before he walks out of the before he walks out of the octagon, he bows. And I was like, you know what? That deserves to jump 3 spots. Mike Beltran is now the #1 ref in the game now.
He is actually fucking hilarious to watch. Whenever you're watching like him when you're at the arena, he does a whole warm up. Like he walks around with like his hands on the hip and he's like jumping and like warming up. It's like, dude, you're not fighting.
He probably could though. I would not want to fight Mike Beltran.
He's a huge guy.
But, yeah, they told him he's got to tuck in his beard or he can't have his beard hanging out. So his
beard's tucked in now. It's crazy.
Yeah. Kind of upset about that, but
yeah,
a little bit.
So Herzog dropped the spot. Herb Dean dropped the spot. Chris Taioni, man, he needs to get out. That dude is way too slow. Warley Alves got dismantled.
Holy shit!
He got dismantled, and took Chris Taioni like 5 extra shots to get over there. He needs to get out, so he dropped a little bit. But other than that, this card wasn't. It was a great card, but as far as implications, not really much doing here.
Other than the main event, that was it.
Yeah, Tim Means looked good, all right. The Dirty Bird, 3 in a row for him, which I would have never guessed. Kieran, peace out.
I'm so sorry, guys. I got to go. I got to get out of here. I'll catch you guys later. It was fun talking about this. Ciryl Gane, future UFC champion. What else happened tonight? Who
are you firing? One person.
Oh, I'm firing. Who am I firing? Oh, OSP. OSP's got to get the fuck out of here. OSP is the biggest waste of athletic potential I've ever seen in my entire life. And that's not. You had like 10 years of MMA training in Knoxville, fucking Tennessee. You had so many chances to go join an elite gym and you never did it, or capitalized on your absolutely amazing physique and skill set. Idiot. Anyway, that's who I'm firing. Any other superlatives? I'll give you my quick ones.
You can do all of them. Jacked on caffeine.
Jacked on caffeine. Give me Ciryl Gane. I don't give a fuck. Give me Ciryl. Actually, no. Give me I'm giving me Ciryl Gane. I'm a Gane sexual.
Decaf.
Decaf performance of the night.
OSP again.
Decaf performance of the night. Give me Kennedy in Zechiku. No. The guy that he fucking Danilo Marquez. Yeah. Yes. Fucking I mean, he tried his best. He just got tired. But at the same time, dude, you gassed yourself out trying to hold. Like, you literally held on to this dude's back for 5 minutes. Yeah. Like, no shit, you're gonna tire out. Like, I don't know. But a lot of people are hyping up Kennedy now, and all he does is just out tough people.
He just does Glover Teixeira.
I know. A lot of people are thinking he's a prospect at 205 now. I'm like, he's big. He's gonna be hard to hit because he's big. But at the same time, he's nothing. He's nothing special.
He's pretty easy to hit, but he can take it.
Yeah, no, he is easy to hit. But like, what I mean is like, he's just hard to put away.
Yeah,
it's like, oh god,
Espresso.
I don't know. He's not good. Espresso shot of the night. Shit, give me that shot that knocked out Worley Alves. That was
Jeremiah
crazy.
Wells.
Yeah,
PA stand up, baby.
Oh god. Anyway,
let's go.
All right, I'll catch you guys later. See you later. Back with Zach. See you later, Josh.
Yeah, so this card, I was really pumped about Rachmanov. That dude is legit. He is going to be a problem. He's now 14-0.
He's massive.
What?
He's massive.
The dude he fought was also severely undersized at 5'6". Like, so.
What's he from? Like Kazakhstan?
Yep.
That's where Triple G's from, and Triple G's my favorite boxer, so I can get behind Rachmanov for sure.
What'd you think about the Andre Fili Pineda fight?
You're looking at like a guy that's gonna win my performance of the night because I was so impressed with Andre Fili. And it just sucks. I don't know. Herb Dean seems like super jumpy out there. He doesn't commit to he's not strong on his decisions. He's like looking to break it up or something. It was a bad eye poke. I actually didn't see the replay on that eye poke.
It was bad. It was pretty bad.
It was bad. Yeah, I mean, it just sucks for Fili, but I think he looked fantastic.
It also made it worse because Pineda had a cut right on the eyebrow too. And so I think it was a combo of everything on that one. But yeah, I agree with you. I think Andre Fili looked phenomenal tonight, and I don't think he looked bad when he fought Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is just a little bit higher level grappler. But Andre Fili has always had that potential. It's just he struggles against the really top dogs, and that's I've always been a fan of Andre Fili. Tim Means won again, which is insane. That's 3 in a row now. Renato Moicano is a savage. He puts away Jai Herbert, who Herbert got knocked out really bad by Trinaldo like about a year ago now. And he was a Cage Warriors champ.
Okay, correct.
And so he's no slouch, but he's 0-2 now in the UFC to start. Kind of sucks, but Renato Moicano is a savage though. Like, he's severely underhyped. I think that's like his 4th or 5th rear naked choke sub he's got in the UFC. That's his specialty, and he kind of ragdolled Herbert on the ground for most of the fight. But we saw Herbert is really good on the feet if he can keep it there.
Yeah, Herbert's not bad at all. He's fought in really tough guys. Trinaldo is a tank. You can never put him away, and if he hits you with a shot, you're going down like Herbert did. And then Moicano, we've interviewed Mike Davis, we both have, and he says Mike Davis has been all around the world, and he's been grappling with people. He always says that Moicano is the toughest dude, like on top, or just to grapple with. And they might not even be in the same weight class. Are they 55?
Yeah.
Okay, but yeah, Moicano's ground game is elite for sure. So he deserves some recognition, and he has a fantastic record. He's only lost 1 fight, I think, ever.
Yeah, and this is the last one I wanted to get to before
he lost 4. Sorry.
Before we get to pink slips, I just wanted to put this out there. So our friend of the show, Justin Janes, unfortunately. So 2 things. Unfortunately, he's probably going to get cut from the UFC. He is now he's 1-4 in the UFC. He's lost to decent competition, but 0-4. But to make matters worse, this man bet his whole $25K on himself and loses via split decision to Charles Rosa. I had a really tough gut feeling about this. I'm not a big fan of Charles Rosa, but he's a really tough guy to put away. He's really good on the ground. And so a split decision. One judge had it 30-27, another had it 28-29, and then another one had it 29-28. But man, not only do you lose, but you lose all that money. I hurt for Justin James, man. I will say, though, I had kind of a really gut feeling about this fight.
I feel it. Like, Rosa's so dangerous on the ground. We saw it against Derek Minner. He's very dangerous, even if he's, getting punished on the feet. And James could have got the finish in the third round and decided to go for the takedown and then ended up him being on bottom at the end of the round. That's how good Rosa is on the ground. But he was piecing him up. He could have potentially got the KO on the feet. And that's when DC was like, no, dude, what are you doing? He pissed it away, the $25K. Eric Nixick is not getting paid. He's going to be pissed off.
Yeah. So, and what sucks for James is, and he was a really cool guy. Loved having him on the show, but seems like he's probably going to be gone from the UFC. And I think he's like 34 now. So going to be a tough road back for Justin James. But I just wanted to get that out there because that was a pretty big story going into this weekend, was the money that he put on himself. He did like a whole embedded piece on it, which is tough when you don't come out with the victory to do that. So, but let's get to our pink slips.
Let's do it.
All right, it is our pink slip segment. We are ready to go. Josh, if you want to fire more than one person, you can. We're missing someone from the show because Kieran did give his hours with OSP, which was mine. So, but you can go first.
Okay, well, first off, the easy one is Ike Villanueva. He's 1-3 in the UFC now. He's a good old kind of good story, good journeyman. I really like him.
He looks good.
Yeah, he's not – the last guy he fought was, I forget.
Trash bag.
Parchino, and he's 0-4 in the UFC. So, or Parchino, he fought tonight. Parchino's who he fought tonight.
He fought Vinicius Moreira or something like that.
Yeah, and that guy was bad. I just don't see Villanueva really getting any wins in that division going forward. He's going to have to be fired for me. OSP, I hate to fire that guy because they named the choke after him, for Christ's sake. And Yancey, I think you keep him around. He looked good. He looked like Nate Diaz out there sometimes.
He's 0-4 though. He's 0-4 in his last 4.
That's tough. I just want to keep him around. I like OSP. Want to keep him around. I'm
talking about Yancy Medeiros.
Yancy Medeiros I want to keep him around too, just because that was entertaining. Way to start off. I don't really want to keep around Ike Villanueva. I don't see the point of it. So I think he gets my pink slip tonight. If I have to fire someone, I'm firing that guy.
All right.
Body kick.
Well, I'm not going to fire Danilo Marquez, even though he got tired out after like one round because he just backpacked the dude for a whole round. Like eventually, right. I think you have to abandon ship and try something different because he's in his mid-30s, if not older than that. Like you cannot be backpacking someone for a whole 5 minutes.
Kills your leg.
I won't fire him. OSP is a choice, but I love OSP, so I don't want to do that.
There you go.
But I'm gonna nicely fire Justin James. I like Justin James. I want you to come back on the show. You're a great guy. We're doing this for content purposes. I just think at 1-4 in the UFC, he's lost a tough competition, but you gotta win. You gotta win. You cannot drop 4 straight. If you drop 4 straight in the UFC, you're probably gonna be gone. And so this is not me cutting you. This is the UFC cutting you. I think that he gets cut, and I do think Yancy Medeiros ends up getting cut as well. That is 4 straight for him. Anyone that loses 4 straight and isn't a marketable human being is getting cut by the UFC. And so that's kind of where I stand with that. Great guy, great outdoorsman. I hope that, I hope he gets another shot. That's what I'm hoping for. But I think at the end of the day, I think him and Yancy Medeiros and OSP are going to be goners after tonight.
Yeah, James needs the money now, and you want him fired. So
I don't want him fired. No. I did not say that. Did not say I wanted him fired. I said I think he's gonna get fired.
He might be. Yeah, it was a tough night for some people, for sure.
Yeah.
Mainly Justin James.
It could be Stolyarenko too. She got steamrolled in that fight, and she's now 9-6 pro record. So, and she's had weight cutting issues. So she's lost 2 in a row. She's only fought twice in the UFC, lost both times. One to Kunitskaya and one to Avila. So she'll probably get one more. The women's divisions are a little bit more watered down, but
that's true. That's a good one.
All right. Are you ready for superlatives?
I'm ready for them.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Sheath superlatives of the night. Do yourselves a favor. Go to sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Coffee and KOs. Get 20% off your entire purchase. It is summer. It's hot. It's sticky up here in Pennsylvania. Let me tell you, we call it mini Florida. All it is it's humid and hot. You're talking 90 degrees with 100% humidity. It's terrible, and it gets all sticky out here. You need Sheath underwear. Separates it all downstairs. The boys will thank you later. Go to sheathunderwear.com. Use promo code Coffee and KOs. Don't forget to sheath your dagger. It is time for the superlatives of the night. And our first one, let's start from the worst one because I want to end on a good note. Let's end on a good note tonight. End on a positive note. So we're going to go with the worst one first, and that is going to be the decaf performance of the night. Josh Beasy.
Oh, baby.
Go for it.
Danilo Marquez, I think, had a really good chance of winning that fight. And what you guys have been saying about Isnchukwu is 100% correct. I don't know if he's prospect material, but he's entertaining. I like watching him fight. But Danilo Marquez, when you have Damian Maia in your corner, I just have a bad feeling about it, especially nowadays, maybe not back in the day. And so I didn't have high expectations, and he got put away after dominating one round. It's a strong finish by Isnchukwu, but decaf. Sorry, Danilo.
Dude, Danilo literally got off the stool and got knocked out in like 3 seconds. He literally stood up, and that was it. They're just like, nope, that's enough. I was pissed at Danilo because I had a parlay with Moicano and him winning by sub. And literally, I mean, he was in great position in round 1, and he just lost it. I think if he would have abandoned the backpack and not shoot so much, I think that there's a shot. Maybe round 2 he could have gotten a sub, but he freaking tried the backpack the whole freaking round, and it just destroyed him.
Do that.
So for me, like decaf performance of the night, it has to be something where you have high expectations from someone, and they kind of underachieve. So like I look at Barcelos, and I was expecting more from him, but I don't want to give him the decaf because I feel like it's not fair because Valiev is a tough opponent, and it was a technical fight. He dropped him twice. He had him on the fence in round 2 and just couldn't put it away. So I don't want to give it to him, but I think I was expecting a little bit more from him. He seemed a little hesitant. And then it's hard to give it to OSP because I didn't really have high expectations from OSP against Tanner Boser. Like he's 25-16. Like, it's OSP. You never know what you're going to get. Like, he's either going to come out and knock you out or Von Flue choke you, or he's going to get knocked out quick. His chin hasn't been there in years. This is what OSP does. Then he'll fight someone like Alonzo Menafield and then just put him away. It doesn't make sense.
I had expectations for Warley Alves tonight after beating Munir Lazzez because I hold him pretty highly. I think Munir Lazzez is pretty good. and the fact that he knocked him out in, I think, one round. Was it the first round?
Second round.
Second round, he got him out of there, and then he gets KO'd by a guy in his UFC debut.
Oh yeah, sorry, I don't know when Alves KO'd Laziz. I'm saying Wells knocked him out, and yeah, that's gonna actually be my decaf is Warley Alves. Now, granted, he's older. He had a long layoff, and I think Wells is legit. I really like his fight style. Super exciting, but you're fighting like he took this fight on short notice and then comes out and knocks someone out who's got a win over Colby Covington, who's fought Kamaru Usman. That's still incredible to me. So yeah, I'm gonna say Warley Alves. Not that he lost, like he could have lost this fight and I wouldn't have been upset, but he didn't look really good at all night long. I'm gonna give it to Warley Alves.
Yeah, it's not a bad one.
No.
And then Espresso.
Yeah,
my espresso shot of the night could go Wells here. I love that story of guys getting their UFC debut and they finish it. Like Kevin Krum is the prime example. Maybe just the number one that comes to my head. I was on the other foot. Kennedy is in Ngannou. I like fighters that can take shots, take punishment, and then come back and finish the fight and do it, almost devastatingly, like he did with Carlos Ulberg, who I hold pretty highly, even though he's 5-1 or whatever, but he's got a lot of experience. And then this guy, Danilo Marquez, who this fight was almost a pick'em, and he finished him. That's my espresso shot of the night, was him knocking out Danilo Marquez for sure. Very impressed with him.
So the people that
like him.
Yeah. The people that listen to the show, and I really wanted to give this to Wells, but I can't because anyone that listens to this show knows I am a massive fan of the body kick knockout. There is nothing like seeing someone get either like the liver shot KOs. There's something about them, I guess, because they're more rare.
Mm-hmm.
But that kick that landed on Ike Villanueva from Prochniau was sick, and it just like literally shut his body off. So I'm giving Prochniau the espresso shot of the night. That was a beautiful body kick.
Talk about an entertaining guy too. Like he took some damage in the first round and he gave it right back.
He got off to a rough start in the UFC, but he was really good in one. So he fought in one prior to the UFC and had a pretty good record. So he's fought some tough guys. I mean, Mike Rodriguez is no slouch, so he lost to him. And then he beats Khalil Roundtree, who's had some really big moments in the UFC. So, yeah, I was kind of out on Prochniau, and he's kind of reeling me back in here. So I think one more big win, I'll kind of be back on the Prochniau train. But, yeah, no, I mean, I'm not going to say Ike Villanueva was a big win. He's 18-12. I would say it's a step down in competition from Khalil Roundtree. But I guess they choose their opponents, but it is what it is. I feel like he was kind of thrown into the fire a little early, and I feel like this is a nice easy paycheck for him.
Yeah, it was a beautiful body kick. You're right on that.
Yeah,
that was spectacular.
So the jacked on caffeine performance of the night, Josh, you can go first.
I said it earlier, and this could be wrong. I kind of want to go Andre Fili. He looked fantastic tonight. His combos, his head kicks, hit him with like 2 head kicks, and then hit him with a body shot that dropped. What's it?
Pineda.
I blanked on him. He's got a nice back tattoo, by the way. Yeah. But I was so impressed with him. I think he was definitely jacked on something tonight. I don't know how good he is. I think he is elite.
He's legit.
He's an elite fighter. He deserves elite competition. I think going into this fight, I knew he was a step ahead of Pineda, and he absolutely showed it. So he's my jack on caffeine by far tonight because, I mean, he did exactly what I thought he would do, but way better.
Just so we touch on this fight, I'm going to give it to this person. I'm going to give it to Julia Avila against Stolyarenko. Stolyarenko known to have a ground game, and Avila not known to have a ground game, and she subs her. That's something that always gets me hyped up when someone beats someone at their own game. I think that's awesome. And her fight style is exciting. Her story was really cool, how she got laid off from her job, and she had a great job, and then she got kicked out of her gym because of COVID, so she opened up her own gym. and here we are. And she came out and looked great tonight. She put on a clinic against Stoliarenko and then gets the sub at the end. I got to take a point away. Her mic skills are shitty. She needs to work on that. One of the she sobbed for like 15 seconds, and then all of a sudden, like, she was happy again. I don't know. It was very weird. That needs to get worked on a bit. As she wins, that'll get better. But no, I was really impressed by her tonight. It was one of my favorite fights of the night, honestly. I thought it was super, super exciting between those two females. And yeah, she landed 107 strikes, man.
That's great.
That's pretty insane to Stoliarenko's 60. So, and then, she attempted one sub and got it. I think that's super impressive against someone with the ground credentials of Stoliarenko.
Yeah, she's trained in Kansas City a couple times. Avila has, and so I was watching that fight definitely, closely. And Stoliarenko, they talking about her passing out when she made weight or didn't make weight or almost made weight, just passed out before. So I'm glad she got back in there after doing that, and Avila deserves it 100% after her story for sure.
Yeah, one of the best fights of the night, I think. Was there any other fight that you wanted to touch on before we shut her down?
Ciryl Gane, I'm ready to see what's next. Boser, I was impressed with him tonight. I think we kind of expected that. I don't know. The odds were a lot of betting people were pretty high on Boser tonight, but no, the biggest takeaway was Ciryl Gane. What is he? How good is he? How good can he be? And I can't wait to see him fight next. I'm ready for it again.
I agree, man. What was that?
Give me another heavyweight main event. Give me another one.
I am ready for Connor and Dustin. I can't wait for that preview show. Hopefully, we can get you on for that preview show if you're not working.
Yeah, we got a week off, and then Poirier and McGregor start prepping for that week, and it's just going to be the card isn't super crazy, the main card, but man, that main event can't match it. Can't match that.
It's going to be a great card, and maybe I'll live stream during that whole card too. It'll be a fun night. But anyway, guys, I'm Zach, that's Josh, and we just recap UFC Vegas 30. If you liked what you heard, hit that subscribe button. Go check us out on Instagram. Also check out our referee power rankings. We've been doing that, and people have been enjoying that. So go check that out. Give us your input. Who do you think is the best ref? Make sure you check out Sheath Underwear. And again, we'll be back every single week. We appreciate the support, all the comments, and we'll see you all next time.